everyone, including the Raiders who came from the earlier Challenge Cup semifinal match. Welcome to another Crosskeys match. Now, we've got ZelgaDissan versus Iceman F1. Let me go ahead and get this scene ready. Just a second. There we go. I am the XR, joined by Adirondack Rick. How is it going?
This is going to be a real fun match. I know both of these two really, really well. Zelga really doesn't need a lot of introduction here in the community. We got to see a lot of Zelga last year in the Crosskeys tournament, and is going to be one of the stronger players in this field. And you can't count out Iceman, because Iceman has been very experienced. Not necessarily you could see a lot of tournament experience with Z-Man, but he has done a bunch of ladder races. He does know what he's going to do with regards to Crosskeys. This should be a fun match to see who goes to 1-0 here in week number 1 of this Swiss mode.
All right, we are just about to get underway. So Crosskeys, it's a combination of cost entrance, shuffle, and key sanity, and things can get pretty complicated. There's a lot to keep track of.
That's really what we're going to be here to go ahead and talk. Here we go. We are underway with race number 1. Different starts for both of these runners. Zelga getting a big key to Swamp Palace, and we're going to find out where the Sanctuary dumps us out at. So we get the very, very decent start, and plus we get the dam also. As Iceman checking over here, the right-hand side, we get another connector over here.
Let's see, this... Oh, wow, we already got to East Stuff Mountain.
It's a solid find, but you do need to be careful, because these Sectites do 2 hearts of damage. So 2 hits, you're back to start. Agate Tower found.
And we get King's Tomb at the Paradox Cave entrance. With a hammer.
With a hammer, my goodness. Now, Zelga, this is a really nice cave to find here in Crosskeys, because this allows you to farm up your bombs.
Absolutely, yeah. You don't know where the shops are. You don't know where the money is. Well, you can start early on. A lot of runners like to do that early on. Oh, there's some money.
Yep, right there on the mountain for Iceman, the bottom right, which would be the Paradox middle entrance, normally. So it looks like that neither of these runners are going to be doing the Houlihan start, which would be starting at Link's house, heading down, and then heading to the potion shop, then doing your Houlihan when you get to see what that drop down is. Zelga, the first of the runners to get to Hotel Mario.
Okay, 50 more rubies. There is a small key on Hylia Island and just bombs in the race game.
Always good to know where those small keys are, because you never know if it's going to be the Swamp Small. And we find another cave, which with a full array of bombs is a nice one for Zelga to find. 5 items inside. This is Mini Moldorm Cave.
Well, we found Blind Spot on Iceman's side. All right, blue mail, map of swamp, a sword, red rupee, and a heart container.
The unfortunate thing here for Iceman that he's coming in here without any bombs, so he's got to hope to get one in these 4 chests, and so far coming up empty. Thieves small, and sadly no bombs here for Iceman, so he's going to have to leave behind the item that's behind the bomb wall, come back later.
Well, there's the upgrade fairy, but no money for anything there.
Looks like Iceman's trying to see what the drops are from the blue guards. Did not get any drops right now. Now checking the Octorok, doesn't get a drop from that either. Really hoping to get a bomb so that way he doesn't really orphan off this Blind's Hut. The back. We find Super Bunny bottom over at the bomb spot here, and that's the hospital. We find Turtle Rock left.
Does it sound better, chat?
So as we check Super Bunny for Zelda, this here is a twofold because it is a connector. It gets you 2 items, actually a threefold. Third, you get to fill up your magic thanks to the magic thing, a magic drop here and underneath the pot. And nothing good in these two. Let's see where this winds up. It looks like Iceman's going to be farming up some equipment here as well.
And Super Bunny takes us to
other side of the mountain. Zelda finding Spike Cave at the old man home. And now hoping to find where the old man rescue is. That's Santai Saha. Three more spots here for Zelda to get the old man back. And we find the brewery over here at the Eastern Palace entrance, and it's just 20 rupees. So Iceman's got one more entrance he's going to be checking.
There's a heart container on top of Spectacle Rock. We're going to check these other... Okay, there's a couple of fairy fountains up here.
One final chance here for Zelda to get the old man rescue.
It's either here or he's at Hera.
Yeah, you really don't want him to be at Hera because that means you got to make a return trip, but at least you know the path to get yourself there. But yeah, well, that's not what we were looking for, but it is still a solid one to find. Turtle Rock back, and Zelda knows how to get these 4, as he's going to do a little bit of a starter step to get these chests checked right now without taking any damage from the lasers. Iceman's in another nice cave, which is Paradox.
That's what's just giving small caves to Hyrule Castle and the Ganon's Tower. We get the cape and the glove out of Paradox Cave.
And more importantly, with the rupees in hand, we're going to see Iceman buy some bombs.
Zelda's gonna do a little bit of Dark World checks. Unfortunately, no mirrors, so can't Super Bunny any of these, such as Ivysaur Cave.
Nice triple there for Iceman. Gets rid of all 3 of them. Now needs a heart to at least get himself over to the other side if he wanted to at least do the bomb jump, because he can't do that with 1 heart remaining. So he might just be resolved into just checking the bottom exit right now.
Yeah, that's like what he's gonna do. Perhaps to use the upper chest gave us a shovel and another GT small as well as a Skullwood small. Oh, we got the top of Hyrule Castle.
You don't complain about finding a Hyrule or a upper Hyrule Castle entrance. Iceman is gonna bomb this probably for the health refill at this stage with the fairy.
That he does. I have a vanilla uncle today, and he's giving us a Turtle Rock small key.
Oh, man, that's right. He did have the cave, so he can get in. Sahashvala telling us the green is desert.
And we get the Cane of Samaria and the Moon Portal.
And okay, so that is interesting. So Iceman, the first to get to the Moon Pearl. Zelda finding out one of the tiers of the tree pole. I think this would be tier 1. Is bombs.
It's Mimic Caves. Zelda Park doesn't have the hammer yet.
I do point out that Iceman does have Dark World access because of the glove, the hammer, and the Moon Pearl at this point.
That's pretty unusual for Crosskeys. Usually it's a connector that gets you your first trip into the Dark World, but not here.
So Iceman's going to go ahead and check the Uncle drop down here, which we do know is vanilla.
Reminder, small key in the tavern.
Never fully required, but do make life easier. Well, I take that back because logically they are required, but again, they just make your life easy. So the interesting thing about this star here for Zelda is that he's got plenty of places to go ahead and check at this point. I'm wondering when he will get over towards the eastern area to connect over to all the stuff that yielded Iceman the Moon Pearl at this stage.
Yeah, we'll see. So I got all these entrances to Cactus check. Where did they find the... Alright, yeah, we have the hammer. That's how we got here.
Alright, we got ourselves a small to ice. We have 20 rupees, and we have a compass to the Palace of Darkness. That's it for Iceman. Back to start. And with the well being... Oh, no, that's not the well. That would be the Lost Woods drop down. Checks that. It's just a compass. That's a no thanks. And there's the Titan's Mitts now for Iceman. How this world is going to open up. I am not used to Crosskeys opening up like this.
Yeah, it's pretty unusual. And we found Hyrule Castle.
And also with the Hyrule Castle small already in your arsenal as well.
Yeah, I'm going to see the mirrors show up in the next 2 minutes.
I'm waiting for that mirror to show up real fast. Like, this seed is setting up to be quite a exploration, who can route it faster type of seed. But for all we know, the mirror is probably in Skull Woods, which we do have access to at this point.
Yes, we do.
Ether being found for Zelda, heading downstairs to go ahead and check to see what we have. Now, that Ether is locked behind that one Hyrule Castle small key that we do have in our arsenal.
It is in logic with the cape.
And sadly for Zelda, a health refill when he wants to take a death abuse at this stage.
Yeah.
This is your worst enemy in Crosskeys. When you don't have the mirror, you get something that gives you a health increase. So Iceman's going to be doing the same things that we just saw from Zelda up here on the mountain. I don't know how well Iceman is with the Hyrule Castle, or we're not the Hyrule Castle, the back of Turtle Rock. So I'm kind of thinking he might leave those 4 for later.
I could see that, and he nice to talk to the tree guy, and we got some interesting tree facts.
I think what Iceman was thinking is that was going to be one of those that gives your health refill.
Yeah, not. Yeah, yeah, I didn't remember that one doing it.
Dark Cross just with a piece of heart, and that's going to do it for Hyrule Castle for us.
Okay, continuing through the dark sewers.
Yeah, that's right, because Zelda does not have that hammer, so as such, Zelda is going to be getting to the back three this way. So what he gets, he will not consider in logic, but we know it is in logic because of what we got from Iceman. Okay, so Iceman is trying this. He does have the cape at least, so we might see him take a couple of tries to get to this, but it will be interesting to see if how long this will take Iceman. Like, Zelda is one of the runners that are very, very proficient with dealing with these lasers.
Yeah, he's taking a couple of deaths. Okay, that's Ice Palace inside of the Hype Fairy Cave.
Yep, and now he's going to go ahead and just stop to get rid of the traffic here. Unfortunately, he's not at an angle that's going to allow this thing to go away easily. And therefore, we take another death. So behind the dam, we got 10 bombs, which we don't need at this stage with 9.
We can get a few more entrances over here. Another useless one.
Oh, nice strat right there from Iceman. He does get the Hyrule Castle small key. And now he is not going to traverse this dark room. We do find a waterfall fairy over here at the outside entrance to Desert. I didn't get to see what the 2 items were.
Container and 10 arrows.
Absolutely necessary.
Well, the heart container's nice, though. We do have blue mail, so it's a little less scary.
If you ask Zelda, he would tell you that he doesn't want that blue mail at 16 minutes in.
Yeah.
Not without the mirror.
Yeah, a lot of death working without hidden Crosskeys.
So, Iceman's going to be getting a check right here that Zelda couldn't because he did not have the Cane of Samaria going into Turtle Rock. This is not in logic at this point because we don't have the lamp, and it's just a compass to Thieves Town. And that is a ripoff for some bombs.
Very much. Alright, we're now exploring more of the entire world that we can explore.
You know what I think we're going to find next?
What?
The flute. Why not open up Misery Mire at this point while we're at it? There is our well at the Lost Woods dropdown. Zelda's going to go in, 5 items inside. You definitely want these 5. Small key to Misery Mire. Okay, maybe you don't necessarily want that, but you're not going to question it.
Turtle Rock map.
Yeah. Red Bell, which Zelda does not want at all. He does not want that red bell.
Our second wild skull red's small. Third one is guaranteed to be vanilla in the pinball room.
Yep, as such, that means we found both of the Skullwood small, so we're going to be finding out in the wild. Zelda going to pick up the 20 rupees to help pad up his numbers. Because things do get expensive in this game sometimes.
as King Zora, for instance, which is in logic with the love, with a love.
And Zelda looks like he just found Old Man back.
Alright, see what's behind the lumberjack ledge. It is a
Useless berry. And shovel for Iceman leads to a bottle.
The one, but we may still need to go into Castle Tower for the 2 chests. We have found Castle Tower. Where it is.
There's our breadsmith locked behind the glove. So for drop down at this point, we haven't seen the lumberjack, we haven't seen magic, we haven't seen Ganon. There's the lumberjack, it's just rupees. And so the big thing here is one of them is locked behind the completion of Ganon's tower. The other, well, it's going to be over here at what is normally the useless fairy spot. Iceman needs to be careful down to 1 heart here in this mini Moldorm cave. He's going to get a bomb if he does. Not bomb. He's going to get the sword if he does get through this perfectly fine. He does. And so the final entrance coming up here for Zelda, the drop down, is going to tell us a lot about this seed.
And it is...
We have to do Ganon's tower to get to Ganon. So that means the good news here is that the 4 GT Smalls will become accessible quite fast in the seed, but yeah, you gotta climb GT in order to beat Ganon.
Yes. Even though this is fast Ganon, because it is entrance shuffle, the pyramid hole is not opened automatically.
So Zelda's going to go ahead and check this stuff over here on the east side that we saw from Iceman a lot too long ago. But the one lingering question here is going to be, what is behind the bomb wall at Zelda's hut? Zelda not opting to check the old lady here, and that is going to deter him from getting to the right side of GT for a little, or not GT, but Death Mountain for a little bit. As we do find that the drop down, or yeah, the Fairy Ascension takes us out at the Fairy Waterfall Ferry.
Yeah. We have Brew 24227, though, with so much open, I doubt we're going to take that long.
Now, this is going to be a seed where we don't get the boots. Those ones do exist. And behind the bomb wall is a small key to Desert Palace. Okay, that could be a little concerning.
Yeah, we haven't found any of Desert yet, though.
Yeah, but the question more lingers along the lines of how long does it take Iceman to get to that spot, get back to Desert, or get back to the spot over there near Eastern to get that small key. Now, funny enough, the only dungeons we've seen so far is 3 entrances to Turtle Rock, Ice Palace, and Agus Tower. Those are the only dungeons we've seen so far.
But then have seen Tower Para somewhere in CAC.
Yeah, I'm trying to
remember.
remove that out of my memory bank until we get the hook shot, so we can Harapod it. And of course, we also saw Hyrule Castle left, but again, I'm trying to blank that out of my memory bank. So, Iceman's going to get the Ether here. Also, I think Red Mail was somewhere in this. Maybe not. Red Mail was at the well. That's right.
Yes. And Turtle Rock, as we see from the C on Zelda's HUD, this is a crystal. We're not sure if it's a red crystal, though.
We will find out in one of 2 ways, or 3 ways. One would be for Zelda to complete the map and check his inventory, or 2, check the map, or 3, find the bomb shop somewhere here in this Crosskeys world. So since these 2 runners are checking things that we've seen the other check at this point, you want to... Oh, okay. Lava Chest has a sword upgrade. Okay, so that's another way to get that Moon Pearl. Anyways, you want to talk about the tournament structure?
Oh yeah, we can discuss.
Yeah, so this is the first round, the first Swiss week here for these runners. We do... How many weeks of Swiss is it?
8.
8 whole weeks? I signed up for 8 weeks of this?
Yes, you did.
I'm scared. Alright, so anyways, we do 8 weeks of Swiss, and the highest records get moved on to a bracket stage where things get really interesting, and we get to see who gets crowned the champion. Now, there is one runner who is not playing this week of the 100-plus runners that are in this tournament.
And that would be last year's champion, Goomba.
Yep, the admins of the tournament have come to the decision that as a perk of being last year's champion, that Goomba does deserve the week off. Now, it's not always going to be that case. The person who gets the exception next week is going to be one of the 0-1s. By the way, Iceman checked Hyrule Castle middle exit and is dumped out just north of the Village of Outcasts.
Zelda's mitts and cape. Another bottle inside a Spectacle Rock cave. That was the top entrance of Thieves Town.
And yes, the reason why Goomba gets the bye this week is because it's an odd number of participants in this tournament. But nonetheless, I think it was the right decision to do. I mean, Goomba has deserved it being last year's champion. So we're finding all the rupees here at Agina, which was located at the chess game entrance. And we do find that one entrance that Iceman couldn't get back to because he was on low health, the middle exit out of Paradox takes you to Cave 45. And there's Zelda. He's about to get the Sahasrara, including the Moon Pearl right here. Find out that the Desert Palace is the green pendant. And there's our lamp at the chess game, which was located at the brewery.
And
there is
also a crystal.
Yes, indeed. Swamp Palace being found. No flippers to get inside just yet, so we can't check that first chest. We do check the Peg Cave right now, and it looks like Zelda is getting ready to check that shovel. We'll get that bottle in just a moment.
And just a shop. Zelda about to get his first bottle off of the big spot.
So the whole world is open to Zelda. Does not have the hammer. There's desert left.
That was at the Arrow game, I believe.
That would be correct. So we get to see what's on the torch. The torch has a piece of heart, so we're not concerned about that. But what I am concerned about is the fact that because Iceman did not have that bomb to get to the back of Blind's hut, could not get to the key to Desert Palace, which means he can't get to these two checks over here on the right-hand side. And Zelda's going to be going over here to Skull Woods. Skull Woods is a very lucrative play here in Crosskeys because of the fact that a lot of runners equate this to like being in a town of sorts.
Yeah, or like an extension of the overworld. Of course, the back of Skull Woods is randomized, and we don't know where that is yet. There's a bear.
Iceman doing the digging game here, where the random number between 1 and 30 will yield the item. And Zelda's going to go ahead and see if this is a good Skull Woods or a bad Skull Woods, and it's a bad Skull Woods. So why do we call this a bad Skull Woods?
Because you have to go down one of the drops to get to the other entrance, and all the drops are shuffled among themselves, so we don't know which one goes to which.
Zelda's going to be finding that this is the middle entrance to Hyrule Castle. Meanwhile, Iceman's going to be going over here to Stumpy for his sword upgrade.
Let's see if this drop down's gonna help us. Yes, it will.
It does, but the big question is can we get... Is this the end of the route here for Zelda? Now, it's not that huge of a deal because the Sanctuary is in Kakariko Village. We do have the typical, normal Dark World access. It would be nice for routing purposes if you're able to escape here, drop down the hole, and find yourself in that middle section. We do find Hookshot Cave over at the Swamp Palace.
And arrows, and yep, I'm going to save and quit.
Yep, Zelda's not even going to try. He's just going to go and cash in his tokens right now, save and quit, go back to Sanctuary, and go back into the Dark World that way. Quarreling Brothers found over here at Hype Cave.
And it dumps us off at Harry Ascension Top. And here's our last Turtle Arc entrance. Without the fire rod, I'm not going to be able to check the chests on the right.
Yeah, since he only has the... Since he doesn't have the fire rod, this is the only check that Iceman can get, but it is a mirror!
Yeah, even more entrances out of all the entrances that we already have.
Getting the mirror this stage in the game is routing convenience. Zelga's going to go ahead and check to see what Hyrule Castle... Or no, he's just going to go straight back to Hyrule Castle Middle. No, he's going to check the right entrance. And we find Myers Shed over here on the right-hand side of Dark Death Mountain.
The big key to Eastern Palace.
That is the second big key that we have seen. The first was Swamp Palace. And so Iceman here is going to go ahead and check this first chest of Agate Tower. We don't have access to the other one that's right now in the Dark Maze.
And a starter container.
Not really a bad result there for Iceman. Right now, I think that Mirror is the biggest thing that Iceman has, because this allows you to do routing efficiency. You're going to be able to check things that you otherwise didn't have the ability to do, like Graveyard Ledge. Now, he hasn't checked K45. Do you remember what was that race game?
Bombs or something useless.
Okay, so we don't care about a race game, but we do care about the entrance at the left Quarreling Brothers. And Mirror also becomes important if we find things like the Turtle Rock transition bridge there that goes between left and right. And there is the lamp for Zelda. So this really is the first quarter where we're just seeking out entrances, we're accumulating items, but we aren't really too heavy in dungeons.
Yeah, we've only found like 4 or 5 dungeons so far.
And none of them we can beat.
When we find Eastern, we'll be able to beat it.
Well, that depends on who finds Eastern. Actually, at this point, we can't beat Eastern. Between the two players, we could.
Yeah, one's got bow, but no big key. The other one's got big key, but no bow.
Alright, I think this is going to be a very important check coming up here for Zelda. And really, it's for Iceman too, but the fact that Zelda has this desert key that Iceman had to leave behind. If they're drunk, then it's good news for Iceman, but if it's not, well, Boomerang, you'd consider that junk. Here's Zelda setting himself up for a death warp at this point, trying to bop himself down to a half a heart.
And it is just bombs, so nothing on the right side.
Yeah, that is good news here for Iceman.
But this being the green pendant, if Iceman were to find the back, he might consider stealing the key, possibly, although it is the green pendant, though.
Yeah, it's a lot of risk in either case here, because, of course, the fact that you don't have the small key otherwise, you might just lock yourself out of finishing the dungeon. If green pendant turns out to be important, then you're in trouble that way. As we already know, this would be a case where Iceman could just hard reset, and get that key back too, so it's not really that big of a problem, but obviously we gotta find the back of the desert first before we can even discuss it. Now, the one thing here is with that mirror that Iceman has pulled up, he does now have access to get to the Old Man Rescue.
Yes. Yeah. We have found the Old Man Cave, but no one's gone out the front of it.
There's the Tempered Sword for Zelda. Iceman finishing out the same checks that we saw from Zelda. We'll get the news soonish. Actually, not yet. He is, he's going to go back into the portal. He's going to lump everything together at this point. As Zelda finds the...
Oh, that's Fire Rod on top of Bumper
I did not
Ledge.
even notice that. Yeah, that is quite a find over there. But Fire Rod on Bumper Ledge. We got to find a way to get there. And we do see that Swamp is a crystal as well.
It's just a fairy fountain at the bottom of Bumper Cave.
And a fairy fountain over at the bomb shop as well. Iceman finding out that the breadsmith's home is where it is there, the Death Mountain Ascent, which is some place that Zelda's going to get to at some point with his breadsmith buddy.
Yeah, just taking him on a world tour first.
Pretty much have to at this stage. All right, curiosity shop here for...
Are we setting up a... And so...
Nice job there for Zelda. Just need to avoid the enemies otherwise. Oh, that's a bad spot. Oh! Luckily, he gets back.
Yeah, it was with screen transition. We could end up back at there. Yeah, because if you go ahead and fake flipper after screen transitioning, the game really doesn't know what to do, and it can take a while for it to try to place you somewhere, and then once it places you there somewhere, you have to save and quit.
And so Zelda is going to be going over here, getting into Turtle Rock with the Canis and Mario. Now it's going to be able to pick up his mirror for optimal movement across this field here. And Iceman finds Eastern Palace. There it is. And little does Iceman know that the bow he needs is in Skull Woods indeed.
Yeah, well, going back on the Dark World, he's gonna go do it. Of course, there, for all we know, could be another bow in here.
And those who are followers of Zelda know that Zelda is not going to go into Eastern, even if he finds it without the big key. Now, if he has the big key, he is going to go in there, but without it, no.
There's like 3 different Eastern Palace emotes in chat. That's like one of my favorite things about this community is some of these just absolutely amazing emotes. Eastern Palace emotes in particular.
Yeah, it's become quite a meme amongst some. There is the Eastern Palace big key for Zelda, so now he will go in there and finish things off.
There's Zelda's hammer.
A big hammer find there for Zelda.
Iceman finds the book.
He really needs to find the second bow here. That's really the best case scenario here for Iceman. Anything else, he's setting himself up for a return trip here. Flippers in the big chest.
Fortunately, we already saw the waterfall fairy, which was a connector. But it does give us a few more checks.
But we do know we do need those flippers because Swamp Palace being a crystal.
Yep, and we do have that one chest in the front available to us now.
This Breadsmith really going on a big trip here with Zelda. Now getting over towards the Dark World. Almost a lap of what these two have done. And the consolation prize for Iceman is a single arrow in the big key chest. And we find Sick Kid up here at Graveyard Ledge, and Sick Kid gives us his life savings.
No boots, so we cannot check Mimic Cave. Zelda sees Eastern, but he's going to have to leave that behind for now, because I believe if it's a crystal, you lose the smith, or do I
Yes,
have
you
that
do.
the wrong way? Okay,
Yes, you do. If it is a crystal, you lose your follower, so Zelga's not going to do it right now. He will come back a little bit later on. As we do continue this tour from Iceman, and with the flippers in hand here, Iceman's going to finish this tour with a trip to Zora. You know, for a seed that started off really, really hot with items, this has cooled off a lot.
Yeah.
But in a way, it hasn't. Like, we know where items are. It's just, it feels like we are slowing down on the things that we need to beat this seed. As Zelda gets confirmation about the fire rod being up there on Bumper Ledge, so we do know we need to find a transition somewhere that gets us there. And we get a small key to the Tower of Hera for our thanks for saving the Breadsmith today.
Yeah, that's one more check and hair available to us. And Catfish also giving us a small key to Ice Palace.
If I'm
Ice Palace smells.
If I'm Iceman, I almost think about taking that Death Mountain Descension Cave, because we didn't see the other side, and now we know that we're looking for connectors to get to that fire rod.
Yeah, man, cave could be our answer.
Could very well be. Could also be the Death Mountain Descension Cave. We only saw, if I remember correctly, we've only seen one exit out of... we've only seen one entrance to Desert. So Iceman's going to do a save and quit. Does not do the check of the Death Mountain Descension Cave. And Zelda now going inside of this Eastern Palace. Will be united with his flippers in just a moment.
As well as the black. And there's Iceman finding Ice Palace. Fitting, but unfortunately no bomb moves all the way to the fire rod, so we can't do anything there yet.
So the book in hand, it looks like Iceman's making his way over towards the west. Got to check to see what we have underneath the water. Saw that it's just the 10 arrows. Actually, no, he's going to turn to the right, check Mini Moldworm Cave, which is something that we did not see from Zelda.
Yeah,
There's our bomb shop. So our red crystals are Skull and Thieves Town. Zelda getting the flippers and about to get the much needed single arrow to put him at 29 arrows.
Yep.
So the next question coming up is Eastern a pendant or a crystal? What do you think?
Well, let's see. Let me do the math. Oh, here's Pyramid Fairy at Ice Rod Cave. Just giving us a map of Thieves Town, which is not helpful.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting, the fact that Iceman found that after finding the bomb shop that told us Thieves Town was the 4. Or the 5-6, rather.
Right now it's a 40% chance Eastern's a pendant.
So, if this is Zelda, this is a pendant then. Pair of checks coming up here from Iceman that we didn't see from Zelda. We're going to be checking Ice Palace entrance, which turns out to be one of the fairy fountains. And on the other side, the light world, the water, the wishing, the well of wishing, I think it is. I don't know what it's called. Fairy. It's Bonk Rocks with our ice rod.
Ice rod.
Now you remember you do remember that there is a small key on the Hylia Island, right?
Yes, I do.
What key do you think that is?
I'm gonna say pod. We've only seen one of those so far.
Bomb says the drop and it's a pendant.
Ooh, pendant. So we could have still had the Smith. Even if we took him through the whole thing. And we're just giving us the Ice Palace compass.
So that is currently good news for Iceman. The fact that the lack of bow when he went into Eastern is not a hindrance. It will only be a hindrance if he goes back in. I think for Iceman right now, we're going to be going to check the Bombos tablet and then making our way over to Desert.
Yeah, make use of that book. Alka's gonna find. I don't remember what this was. Oh yeah, Swamp Palace.
And with the flippers out of Eastern, we are able to check this first chest. Is it something important? Well, if you consider 20 rupees important, then it's important to you. But for these runners, that's a no.
Yeah, not when you have 1,100 rupees already. All right, Bombos tablets.
And Zelda's going to be making his way over to here real soon, because I think what he's going to do is he's going to lump that check together with the purple chest that he's now setting himself up to do. Iceman's going to forego his portal there because he's all done with the Dark World, check these Light World entrances, then make the way over to Desert itself.
All right, Zelda's picked up the purple chest.
And he's also going to check a spot I don't think Iceman checked, which is the Quarreling Brothers left exit here. And it's nothing.
And there's a map on Desert Ledge.
Probably Hyrule Castle.
Or Unit's Tower. I don't know if we've seen that one either.
The two most useless maps in this game. And
Bumper Cave.
Bottom. A transitional square, so this is something that Iceman wants to do. Oh. Well, now we know what that does.
Oh, I missed. Where did it go?
King's Tomb.
Oh.
That is a guarantee end of your route at this point. Well, no matter what, it was going to be the end of your route because you can't go back through the other side. So I'm looking through my map at this point. The entrances that we haven't really checked all are on the eastern side of the Dark World. We have the one surrounding the Palace of Darkness, and then we have the great stuff that is over at the Dark Shopping Mall. And then we also have the right side Death Mountain as well, but we can't get that from here. So Zelga's about to get the bad news here that this is a dead end. And that is a save and quit.
Alright, we're gonna see what this small key is.
I'm going to say swamp.
Earlier I said pod, and we were both wrong. It is our third Misery Mire small key.
Really? We're going to give us all 3 Misery Mire keys at this stage? Have we even seen Misery Mire at this point? The answer is no, but you gotta love when you find all the keys to a dungeon before you find it. Zelga's going up to the mountain. I think he wants Old Man.
Yep.
Plus he gets to check the ether tablet.
Alright, Dark Shopping Mall. We've got a fairy fountain.
Nothing. More nothing.
Ice Palace map. Oh, a big key. The Turtle Rock, we need that.
Well, we might need that. Well, we do need that, yes. We do know it's a crystal. And that's a big chunk of information right there. Ice Palace is a pendant. That's all of our information. Now, Iceman doesn't know about Eastern being a pendant, but knowing that Ice Palace is a pendant means you're not worried so much about that Eastern Palace.
Yeah.
So that does mean that we will need at some point to find the big key to the Palace of Darkness, also the big key to Thieves' Town, and the big key to Misery Mire. Now, will we find those in a good amount of time? Who knows?
We also need the GT big key as well.
Yes, because Ganon is vanilla, because why not? Half magic for saving the old man.
Zelda's gonna head up to the crystal roller chest now. He's down to 1 heart, that was close.
I'd like to think that that was being calculated with how that hitbox was. So Iceman found a way to get to the old man rescue from the dark shopping mall.
And just a compass on Ether Tablet, 2 Ganon's Tower. Hey, now we can find Aghanim.
And now this gets us over to the right-hand side of Death Mountain, both Dark and Light World. A lot of entrances coming our way. And we find out this. Sorry about that.
I was just saying we found a red rupee on top of the floating island.
Yeah, I was going to say we found a whole lot of nothing, but what you said and what I said pretty much were the same idea. All right, we're going to go ahead and check Dark Death Mountain over here on the right-hand side. We do have the mirror, so we can do some other things if we need to. We find out we cannot get into Turtle Rock's entrance at this point because we need the bombos.
Just a shield shop.
Yep, our curiosity shop found up right there at the left rock, and we find the fairy fountain that is not really all that nice at all right there. Iceman's going to go ahead and check the spiral cave entrance. And that's nothing as well.
All right.
And
let's see where Old Man Front is.
Ah!
Okay.
Okay, that's not what I was expecting. So, we're still looking for at least 3 connectors at this point. One that takes us up to the floating island, one that takes us to that Turtle Rock transitional bridge, and the other that takes us to Bumper Cave exit so we could get that fire rod.
Yep.
Somebody in chat asking, has the best vacation spot been found yet, Spiral Cave? The answer is no, we have not seen that yet. So Iceman's going to go in here, and this is where Iceman should now find the key that, or not the key, but the sword that Zelga's been wielding for the entire seed over Iceman. Really hasn't been that big of a difference as far as these two runners are concerned. Iceman's going to be pulling out the ether, which is going to take good care of this Pokey right now.
Yep, sprays it and you can smack it with a hammer and it's gone.
All that's left is the key that it leaves behind. Zelga's going to find out that he too cannot access this entrance, and there is the tempered sword for Iceman. So Iceman did not check this Chain Chomp chest either, and we know that it's going to be a shield from what we saw from Zelda a while back. Looks to me like we're going to be finding something over on the right side of the Palace of Darkness area of Dark World.
Alright, Iceman back into Hyrule Castle. Is gonna... Wait, this was...
He's going to check the right side. He hasn't checked the right side yet.
Okay, yeah, this will dump him off at Turtle Rock. Laser Bridge exit. And it was a Hyrule Castle map.
Yay. So Zelda's going to go here, check Old Man back. We already know it's going to put him out at the Lost Woods. I'm not sure if he knew what he had seen earlier, but he's going to get confirmation at this point. And it looks like Iceman is now going to get that Desert Small that we've been fearing about.
All right, I will be right back.
All right, well, anyways, while VXR is going to be right back, we do want to shout out our 2 trackers of this race and thank them very much for the service that they're doing to this. Scott G and as well as Royal with Cheese. And then also big thank you to both of these runners, zelgadissan and Iceman F1. Great runners here. Iceman being one of the main tournament admins. Zelga, very decent runner overall and a very helpful runner in the community. So great runners indeed for this match. Zelga's going to be checking the back of the Hookshot Cave, which is an entrance that we haven't seen the other side of. And I think this is a pretty solid play for Zelga. And that will put us over at Meyer. And Iceman getting his map information again. And GT over here in the Meyer area. So GT here for Zelga, just waiting out the tiles. This one is in logic with the arsenal that we do have. As Iceman will be checking the entrances over here. And finds that the Palace of Darkness, it is the back of Skull Woods. Now, technically this isn't beatable, but it can be sequence broken.
Looks like that's what Iceman's doing.
A heart container find for Zelga. Now going to go ahead and check the left side. And Zelga is going to sequence break this. So the way that Iceman is doing this, he's setting himself up against the back blocks there. He's waiting for the hand to come down, so that way it's not going to bother him. So he's going to pull up the lamp. Then he's going to light that, fall down, and that will give him enough time to grab these 3 remaining torches. That will be complete. That is good. And Zelga is doing some bomb jump trickery over here to get over to the right side or left side. We get ourselves a couple of maps, which we ourselves don't need. And there's a small key to swamp behind the hook shot. The Pond of Happiness was where the ice rod was located, and that was the Bonk Rocks cave found at the Pond of Happiness, right there on the island and the Hylia. Well, I said that we have found ourselves the mushroom for Iceman, and crystal number 1 of the seed goes to Iceman.
That was also the mushroom. I don't think we found a potion shop yet.
Yes, we did.
Oh, yeah.
Potion shop was in Kakariko Village. And below the bridge, we find 10 arrows. That is it for Iceman. He does need to get to the other side of the Skull Woods, do that middle and front section. The middle section is where the bow is that Zelda has. Zelda's going to find out about the 5-6 right now.
And he's gonna go over to get that Misery Mire small key off of the island. There's the back of desert.
Which Iceman cannot do right now because we do not have a big key to the dungeon. And now this entrance here is the library with 20 rupees inside. I bet one of the desert entrances is the answer to the seed at this point.
Yeah, very possible.
Either that or the mushroom turns into boots.
Here's Zelga's not so hype cave aside from the Turtle Rock big key.
Yep, and we do know we need that. As soon as we find a way to get to the fire rod, that would do us some good. So it looks like Iceman is setting up for fake powder before turning in the mushroom.
Actually pretty convenient because Master Rat's right over here.
You can't ask for it in a better place. Magic Bag yields us a big key to Desert, or rather Palace of Darkness.
Wow.
So we need to find... The magic powder logically needs to be found somewhere.
Yep. We do need the pod big key, but we're definitely going to need some more small keys.
We have only found one.
Dungeon 2.
We have only found one. It is absolutely crazy how few keys to some of these big dungeons that we've found so far. So, Iceman found this earlier. This was the Death Mountain Descension Cave. And we are running out of possible transitions that takes us to where that fire rod is. Is this the one we need? It is not.
Iceman did turn in the mushroom, yes.
Game be jerk. But Iceman is going to go, as you do see him using the potion right there, which tells us that Iceman is going right straight for the potion shop in just a moment. So the one main thing here is the fact that we have yet to see Iceman go into the middle section or the front section of Skull Woods. That is where the bow was found. We know a fire rod is located over at the top of Bumper K, but we have no way of getting there at this point. Really, that's what this seed has come down to. That Iceman found the back of Skull Woods over at the Palace of Darkness. 110 rupees got him his first crystal. So just bombs for the mushroom. Ice Ride is located over at the Pond of Happiness, which is, of course, the Hylia Island that turned out to be Bonk Rocks, where the Ice Ride was. Iceman is about to get over here and check a few entrances out this way. And this will be Iceman actually going to check to see what the other two entrances to Desert might be also.
Yeah, this could be our connector that we need.
Yeah. So we haven't found the connector to the Turtle Rock Transitional Bridge. We haven't seen the connector to the Bumper Top. We haven't seen the connector to Floating Island. Those are the 3 required connectors that are still in play. And I'm wondering if Zelda got to explore all of the Mire area, but I'm sure he did. I just didn't get to see it all.
Alright, where does this desert right take us?
Well, that's
Floating
half
Island.
of the issue there. That's Floating Island. And there's a unnecessary item up there on the ledge that Iceman doesn't need. I think it was rupees or a map, maybe. Wasn't anything important.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
GT. That's a one-way.
Iceman thinking about his moves and has decided to save and quit back to the sanctuary.
We are still missing. We'd like to see a couple pod keys. We need the Thieves Tournaments are not big keys. We need the hook shot, and we gotta find that connector to the fire rod.
And I wonder if this is the point where Iceman does the... No, he doesn't. I was going to say, I wonder if this is the point that Iceman does the Skull Woods checks. I almost feel like Iceman doesn't want to until he has that fire rod.
Yeah.
And so Iceman's going to go ahead and check this first chest of Swamp Palace. He's going to find out that it's nothing really that important. And he will mirror. And there's the bomb stretch there for Zelda. A little bit faster than what we saw from Iceman. You can see Zelda's proficiency in running these modes shining here.
How small was the Stalfoster in GT?
Yep, which we can't legally get to at this point.
Yeah, Zelda bomb jumped over there.
Here's the Breadsmith chain coming up for Iceman. And Zelda finishing off with Mothia about to get his mushroom, which we know leads to a big key, and then also nothing. Big key via the fake powder, legally, well, it's just 3 bombs. But that is the first crystal for Zelda. We are tied on the crystal counts at 1 apiece, as looks like Iceman at this point is walking over towards the portal area. Now is this going to be the play into Skull Woods? Answer is no.
No. I'm gonna go check the Hero basement.
Oh, right, because we have that small key. Where was that small key again?
That's...
I mean, it's inconsequential. Both runners do have it. But as we wait out the tiles here, both runners... Oh, Breadsmith, that's right. So... Iceman just picked up this key.
Yeah.
And... it's nothing.
Okay, just piece about it. I'm trying to think what we can do.
Well,
we can do land molars.
Iceman's about, or rather, Zelga's about to get the ice rod in just a moment.
Yeah. You've yet to find Potter Thieves Town. Ice Palace and Misery Mire are not accessible. Front or right side Turtle Rock, I believe, is... Oh, we can't do that. No Fire Rod. Yeah, we're kind of running out of things to do.
Yeah, I'm just trying to actually think at this point what we've are missing at this point. I know we found Chest Game over at the Spike entrance in the Dark World back when Zelda didn't have the Moon Pearl. Has he been back to that?
Not sure.
Because it feels to me like the next thing we're going to find that leads to entrance progression is going to be the boots.
Yeah. Either that or Bombo, since that's basically locking all our remaining entrances for the most part.
And that's another part. Iceman has not taken that hookshot connection. He might do so right now. And that, in fact, looks like what he's setting up to do to get him over to the Mire area.
Those 4 chests in Hookshot Cave are just taunting us.
And Zelga's going to go check Mimic Cave, but we know it's nothing from what we saw from Iceman's side earlier. Just 20 rupees. So there's GT.
Only things in Logic are Hope Room and Tile Room at this point. Say if Iceman chooses to bomb jump over to Stalfos Room. Or chooses to bomb jump over on the right side to go to Compass Room.
I'm not sure how good Iceman is with that setup. That's a tough one without the boots. But I mean, it's possible, but I don't know.
Okay, so why do some dungeons have initials and why do some have the boss picture? The boss picture means we found the dungeon. Ones with the initials means we haven't.
Like, for instance, Zelda has not seen the back of Desert Palace. Only Iceman has. Wait, really? He hasn't seen the back of Desert Palace? Wow, okay, so he only did the Skull Woods back then. Okay.
I think he has. I think he's seen Castle Tower as well.
Okay, yeah. He's also seen Misery Mire then, if that's the case.
Yeah. Or has he gone down there?
I would assume he had when he went with the Breadsmith over to that section of the map, but I don't know.
I'm thinking landmolls might be one of our last remaining checks available, guys. As well as the... Oh, wait, no, we don't have the big key. Never mind.
Yeah, we don't even have that big key yet.
Huh.
And Zelda's going to find out where these two other entrances go. Now, if he chooses correctly, he's going to do the right side first, which will get him onto Floating Island, then find out where GT is. But sadly, it looks like Zelda's setting this up for the pain and sorrow of the GT entrance first. And you just mutter when you find that entrance. Like, that pause right there is Zelda muttering.
Yeah. It's like, why is this here? Why did this connector exist?
And that's unfortunate for Zelda, because that means he's going to have to walk back. And now Iceman now goes to Skull Woods.
We don't have the unfortunate layout where this area was all in the first part of the dungeon.
There's the bow for Iceman. He probably muttering too at this point. And he's about to get the bad news that this is the bad Skull Woods layout. Now, have we checked the bottom of this that Zelda's checking? This could be the answer. It's an answer. Chicken coop.
Like this has gotta have something. I feel like if there's nothing else.
Hook shot.
There we go.
The seed now opens up. That swamp key is legal.
Now that's Swamp Palace, and we can go in.
Palace of Darkness. And Iceman's going back to Eastern. He's going to find out this is the other pendant.
Yes, still only one pod small key.
So I think with this case here, this is where we see Zelda starting to maybe build a lead. It seemed rather even for a little bit, but neither runner wanting to check that transitional in Spectacle Rock might have been unfortunate, in which Iceman just took too long to get to it. We don't know. This race isn't over with yet, but I feel like this is where the seed now starts to open up. There's always that one item, it feels, in Crosskeys. Once you find that item, the rest of the seed just opens up. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, after that, such a fast start, just went to a long, slow crawl to get that hook shot.
And so over here with the mix, we won't even speak about those 2 missed arrows, Zelga. Just remember that the pod cleaning committee charges $10 per every arrow that we need to clean up as a result. Flute, which is a nice transport, but doesn't open the seat up.
Yeah, we already found a connector that took us to the Misery Mire area.
Well, the nice thing about this is that it gets us back over to GT in an easier fashion.
Yeah, and same thing with Misery Mire.
And it also allows Zelga to cheat this dungeon. We're not going to see him cheat it just yet, but details later.
Yeah.
So I wonder if Iceman might be coming to the same solution coming up here real soon, but he is going to go check the front section of Skull Woods first. I bet there is something in the left side of GT or Hookshot Cave at this point.
We also have Misery Mire available as well.
Or Misery Mire.
And with
or
all 2 small keys.
Swamp Palace.
Yeah.
See, this is where that whole thing, there's that one bottlenecked item here, and now the seed's opening up. And I feel like of these 2 runners, Zelga's closing speed is amazing. Like, the ability to close out a seed is something that Zelda can master.
Absolutely. He's got top tier execution.
There's the Hera Pod for Zelda. It's going to now leave the big chest as an orphaned item, but maybe we don't need it.
And Iceman's gonna check pedestal.
And the pedestal will tell us that it is going to be pocket change just to move along, nothing that we need. And don't forget, in our Go Mode index for this seed, we do need to add the GT Big Key to the mix. That, however, is not the GT Big, but that is crystal number 2 for Zelda.
Yeah, 3 big keys, connectors to that fire, and that could be behind boots or bomb posts potentially.
At this point in time, it pretty much is guaranteed that it's behind one of those 2 items. Iceman checking the Spike Cave. We know it's not going to be anything. And now we are going to start getting some valuable checks on the way from Zelda. Swamp Palace, here we go.
Starting out with the Tower Hera Compass.
So we can be reminded when Zelda goes back in there, if he has to, that he has not gotten one check in that dungeon yet. But if you're cheering on Iceman at this point, you need him to get to that spectacle rock drop down. He needs to get this piece together. The longer it takes for him to connect these dots, it's just going to be time that Zelda builds a lead.
That hook shot is such a big bottleneck.
It is. And here we go. Iceman is checking it.
Okay, gonna go straight to left side, understandable.
Yep, with the ability to dive her down, Zelda's gonna do this pretty much straight up. We are still missing many items for Go mode. We are like several big keys away. We are items away from Go mode at this point. You can't take that chance here by skipping left side swamp. And there is the hook shot for Iceman right there. And you can tell he's not happy with those sword slashes.
We have only, an hour and 36 minutes. We have seen only 4 big keys in this entire seed.
Which is amazing considering the fact that 2 of them were like, what, in the first 10 minutes?
Pretty much, yeah.
It's a piece of heart over there on the left side of swamp, and on the right-hand side of these two, we get... Yay.
Yeah, the skull, it's not...
We already knew that it was a crystal. Thank you, game. And if you ever watch Zelda stream these kind of modes, you know he's always talking about what he has in Logic, what he doesn't have in Logic. Especially when it comes to the key aspect of this.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to keep track of in Crosskeys. Nice man, just got the little big key to his reminder. We need that.
Yep, that makes that now a fully completable dungeon. We have all the keys for that dungeon. And Iceman is going to finish this dungeon off by spending his 1 key to get to the Helmistar King. Okay.
Another big key, GT. Another key need. And a GT small to go with it.
And technically we need that small key as well. So what Iceman is doing is locked behind 6 pod small keys. So this is a very interesting power play from Iceman. Castle Tower key, thank you, game.
That was our first one. There's another chest there we can do.
Yep. That's really the only thing that we're caring about with Agate Tower, because we know that we don't need to do Agate Tower for an item.
What was on the apparently leaving now again? That's why we need the GT big key.
Yep. It is a vanilla cannon seed, so therefore GT completely required. Week number 1 of the Crosskeys tournament. Would you expect anything different? And item number 10 is another... Wow, this is Big Key City.
It's the desert.
That is 3 big keys on this final stretch of Swamp Palace for Zelda.
We know 2 of them are required, but that third one, who knows?
Helmets are down for Iceman. And the 4th sword.
Alright, so I was gonna go check the big chest since he's right here.
Makes total sense while you're in the area. And the big chest for Zelda will consist of another bottle. Not what we needed. So somebody asking in chat, is the only item needed for Zelda bombos? Well, we might need the boots, but what we definitely do need is a way to get to the fire rod at Bumper Cave. And we do need the big key to Thieves Town because both runners know, because that's a 5-6, that's required.
And we also need to find Thieves Town as well, which could very well be not behind boots or bombos.
And that's right, because Zelda got dumped out at Ganon's Tower when he took the middle entrance. He had more incentive to go over here to the right to find out that this was not his connector to the fire rod.
And so we haven't activated the flute.
Oh yeah, I probably should activate this.
I love all the I'm like, I don't think you've activated that yet. And yeah.
Alright, final check's coming up here for Iceman. He'll loop around, get this check, and then drop down to the Staffos to grab that check. We know it's nothing major, and these 2 checks coming up here. Iceman needs to get to GT. Check that left side. That's where the Swamp Small is, that Zelda broke logic to get.
Alright, Zelda is floating to 4.
Ice Palace. No, he can't get in there yet. Hookshot Cave. That's probably where he's going.
Yep.
And yes, to remark what Telthar is talking about, the medallion, as we find a Turtle Rock small key, the medallion may not be required, but it might be required. We haven't found Thieves Town. Oh, nice powder. So that's how we're logically supposed to get that big key. Harapot here coming up for Iceman. Gets its 2nd try. But yeah, we don't necessarily need bombos, but since we haven't found all of our entrances yet, we still might need to find that Thieves Town entrance. Well, we definitely need to find that Thieves Town dungeon. As such, there's extra incentive for us getting over there.
Alright, welcome back in GT. Gonna continue going left.
I wouldn't be surprised if this is a full climb here for Zelda.
Yeah, he's starting to climb. Not sure if he'll do right side, though, without the fire rod.
At this point, knowing what he knows, he might consider the sequence break, but he might just decide that the fire rod is super late in logic, so therefore let the seed dictate whether or not you need to go to the right side.
Answering a question in chat, what is in the pyramid? Ganon.
Yep, Ganon is vanilla, so as such, we do need to finish GT. Hey, map to a dungeon that we've already beaten. Iceman not that far behind Zelga here as far as getting to GT. The big difference here is the fact that Zelga's already finished Swamp Palace, aka Big Key Palace.
Yeah. There's key to pod and rando room and a big key to Thieves Town.
A dungeon that we haven't found, but a big key that we do need to find. So good news there for Zelga.
Alright, so that is Eagle mode. But we're not in entrance go mode.
And in the big chest of GT, we find 50 rupees. As Zelga gets himself set up to do a bomb jump coming up over here. Trying to get some of the traffic out of the way. Nice bomb jump, but falls down the pit.
Overshot it. Alright, Iceman's gonna follow Zelda into GT now.
Yep. He is going to get that Swamp Small out of the Staffall Shroom. There's a small key to the castle tower. That is the second. Ice Armos. Getting himself with a good setup here. And gets it in time. Back 3. Bombs a small key to the Palace of Darkness. And our silver arrows.
Alright, we're gonna skip the right side and gonna do the climb.
That makes total sense. The unfortunate thing here for Iceman is that he's going to have to do this climb again when he gets back here later after going to Swamp Palace, but he definitely needed to get that small key out of there.
Absolutely.
All right, so what do you think is up here on the top of the tower?
I'm gonna say there's no progression up here. We have to go elsewhere to find boots or bombos.
Yeah, I'm thinking that too. You know where I'm thinking?
That's right here.
Misery Mire, yes. We've got all the keys to it. Why are you giving us all the keys? All 3 of the keys to Misery Mire.
I was just telling me to go to cutscene chest.
Exactly. And yes, we are all out of entrances except for boot blocked or bombos blocked entrances at this point. As we reach the hour 48 mark of this, we are starting to get into what would be really the starting push towards the 4th quarter of this run, where we're starting to just finally do our final go mode gatherings. But we haven't found all of our entrances yet, so I really can't call it the 4th quarter yet. And the thing with the fire rod is, we know that we need to get the access to the top of Bumper Cave, because that's where the fire rod is. But because we're out of entrances, we need to find the boots or the bombos first. So we have one guaranteed connector still in this game. And I know of a connector that we haven't found yet. Do you know which one I'm thinking of?
Which one?
It goes around in a circle and you drop down a pit, get to the other side.
And
Spiral Cave.
yeah, we have not seen that connector. Someone was posting Spiral Cave notes in chat earlier.
Red Rupee, 6th floor. Piece of Heart here on the 6th floor. Iceman going to the Dark World. This is going to be a Swamp Palace play. He'll get all those big keys. Blue Cane, that's not progression.
Down goes moment 2, and at the final chest of Ganon's Tower, we have a Turtle Rock Small Key.
A small key to a dungeon that's not going to do much good for us at this point in time. Now, the one thing is that we have now seen 3 of our pod small keys, which means we do have legal access to the back, including the downstairs with all the rupees and that turtle room where the compass normally is.
I got his 4 key locked.
It is 4. Okay, yes. I thought it was 3 for some reason. I don't know. But yes, we have seen all of the Turtle Rock exits. So there's no exit that is going to be news to us as far as Turtle Rock is concerned. Alright, so Agate 2 is down for Zelda. And that will be our path to getting to Ganon a little bit later on, but we still have some more business here with this seed. You know what that big key to desert does?
It gives us the access to the green pendants.
Yes, that's right. And that's something that I forgot about because of the fact that, we forgot what our green pendant was for a little bit. But yep, now we can go ahead and do green pendant turn-in to see if that turns out to be our answer.
Alright, so I'm just gonna head over to the spike chest first. And there's Bombos.
Well, that's a piece of the puzzle right there.
So that could be go mode if Thieves Town and the Fire Rod are both behind. The 2 entrances are missing. Well, we may still need the boots.
For what?
Thinking of Bombos, we could be in go mode if it blocks both Fire Rod and Thieves Town, but odds are we're going to need the boots.
Well, Bombos, if it does turn out to be the transitional spiral cave that I'm thinking of, would still get us 2 entrances without Bombos, because when we find that access to the Fire Rod, there's that entrance on the other side.
Yeah. Did we get a connector to the Light World ledge, or no?
No, we did not.
Okay, so that could be it too.
And of course, the Fire Rod opens up the Schoolwoods back too. And there's our big key dungeon complete for Iceman.
PSP's Hard and Vitreous. That is crystal number 4. Zelda.
And a good point by Chant that Bombos does unlock the ability for us to do Ice Palace.
Yeah,
Red Pendant Ice Palace. And let's see where Zelda goes first. We flew to 6. We're checking that Mire entrance first. We are on entrance figuring out mode at this stage. Let's find out if this is the piece to the puzzle. And inside of Misery Mire, we find... well, it's an item K, but it doesn't lead to anything we need.
Iceman is checking the left side of Misery Mire.
So Zelda rushing up to the mountain is going to go and check the Turtle Rock entrance.
Now, alright, just watching this cutscene play out. The boots here. Nope, it's a small pita pod. So that's why we got all those Mire keys so early.
Because we legally needed them.
And bridge, main room chest does another TR small. Alright, inside Turtle Rock entrance, we have K45 with a small key. 2 pod. Alright, so this is a boots hunt. Oh, that's a big key to Skull Woods. Obvious is right here. Bringing out with a 6th pod small. Yeah, we're just everything's open to reach now. All pod, all of Ice Palace, rest of it, and yeah.
Which means that the answer probably now is in the Palace of Darkness.
they're gonna do this icebreaker glitch to get the last bottle. Red Rupee and just number 3. Oh, a big key to this dungeon. When you hit the 2-hour mark, make sure to give both of our runners a Follow Zelda and Iceman. Red Boomerang and Iced Tea.
Yay. Something you really love finding. Iceman taking his Bombo is going to be finding out about that being the entrance he doesn't really need over there at checkerboard. And would this be the time that Iceman decides to climb the tower?
I expect 2 and 2. Eastern Palace Compass.
I think at this point in time, it is safe to say that Zelda does have a little bit of a defined lead. But we'll see what winds up happening.
Alright, this will be a quick cold stare. No fire eyes, but tempered sword's pretty good. Ice Palace is not the answer.
Oh, where can our boots be?
Yeah, well, it's looking like Pod's our answer. But there's the green pendant and land mollas.
True. And with the seed giving us all the pod smalls, and now this will give Zelda a reason to go deeper into this dungeon, finish it off. And I bet we find out the answer real soon.
Yeah, Saha is at the castle tower entrance. Alright, so Zelda's just gonna go beat Helmasaur King first, and then I'll check the rest of the dungeon.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, if you find the boots here, then you pretty much just go, but if it's not, then you go back in.
Okay, almost on his way to the Helmosaur King. Iceman continuing his GT climb, lighting the torches. Iceman... I guess he's waiting for the torches to go out. For the connector that gets it, both the connector that gets us to Fire Out on Bumper Ledge as well as the Thieves Town entrance. Iceman. Okay. Oh, he takes a fall.
Yeah, that's unfortunate here for Iceman. You know, it's wondering if the nerves are starting to get to him now that we've reached the 2-hour 5 mark of this.
Another fall. Yeah, at this point, you're just expecting your opponent's gonna dot done any minute now, even though you're... Once you get past the 2-hour mark. He's got to reset it again. Yeah, it's not very often you do these torches with the lamp. There we go. Just a heart container in the pod big key chest. Alright, the first look into the back of pod at 2 hours and 7 minutes. Nothing in the basement. Everything harmless hellway. Now we're gonna hammer jump over to the big chest. Piece of hearts. Bombs, we got one more chest left in pod.
And it's not it. Holy cow. It's on Lambo, it almost has to be at this point. Or vanilla.
Gosh, we have vanilla boots.
Or Agate Tower chest number 2.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. I was going to do that right now.
And yeah, Iceman having the issues with that torch room. The way you want to do that torch with the lamp is bottom right, bottom left, and then get the top right afterwards.
Yeah, Agate 1's dead.
And the answer here, Agate Tower,
The green movie.
groupie. All right, time to flute to 5. Go to the desert upper. And that's exactly where Zelga's going.
Zelda's gonna go back to Misery Mire. You know this isn't the answer.
Oh, he's gonna check that before we're doing desert upper. Yeah. All right, well, he's not going to get anything that he needs at this point. And in the meantime, Iceman is going to be checking the Turtle Rock entrance, which we know is nothing from Zelda. And I think really at this point, it's coming down to nerves. You know who you're up against.
Yeah.
And it's starting to wreck with your mind at this point, but little does Iceman know that neither of these two are in go mode at this point. And if Iceman can stay out of Ice Palace and stay out of the Palace of Darkness, not get tempted into those two checks, and checks Desert first, then he's got a shot at this still. But that pod small key right there is probably toying with his mind.
Yeah, he's thinking about probably wanting to go back.
And is he going to flute to 5? That's the big question. If he flutes to 5, he's going into Desert. But he's not.
I'm going to float to 3 instead.
He's fluting to 3, which means he's setting himself up to go back into Pod. He's going back into Pod. So this will give Zelda a pretty solid chance to close out this siege soon. As he gets another of the small keys to Turtle Rock that he can't do anything about right now without that fire rod. And Iceman's going to be heading into Pod. Now, he's already defeated Helmastar King, so all of the checks that he has are straightforward.
Ice Palace is at the Hype Fairy Cave.
Yeah, light hype, as I call it. But that's also another thing. That big key to Skullwood
Yeah, we didn't check the Skullwood's big chest, I don't
hasn't
think.
been checked yet. But Zelga's making the play.
Yeah, I do like Desert Palace.
Desert Upper.
Because once you get the ring, then you over and I'll be close by. Oh wait, I forgot this was Crosskeys. We gotta go up to Castle Tower to get to Saha.
So Zelda now going to take care of the back of Desert Palace. So are the boots vanilla or are they on the Lamos? Are they in Skull Big Chest? This seed continues to astound me.
You know, the Hera Big Key could show up too.
Oh, please. I didn't even think about that as a possibility, but you are right. Because both of these runners Hera-potted. Alright, 3 silver arrows for Zelda. 1, 2, and, well, we weren't going to get that third one, but we did get it one cycle. Yeah. Lamos are down, and it's red, but not the red we are looking for.
Now we can get that pocket change off the pedestal. Zelda has no idea what's on ped.
Do you think he pulls it?
I just reads it.
Iceman trying to do the hammer yump was a little too low on that bomb. And Zelga's going to go ahead and check a bumper. There is the bomb jump for Iceman. Paradox lowers where Zelga is heading to. And if we find the boots on Sahasrahla here, the question becomes, what entrance should we check first?
Probably the one outside Link's house first.
It's Vanilla!
At 2 hours, 15 minutes, and 15 seconds, Zelda is in go mode.
But he's not in entrance mode at this stage.
Oh.
He needs to find what I believe is Spiral Cave that gets us to Bumper Top. And Iceman is going into Ice Palace.
I think I went to late. Pretty much, and yeah, pretty much entrance go. Like, you can get all the entrances now.
Yeah, we are guaranteed in go mode at this point because we need to find the transition to get us to the Fire Rod. Oh, there's Thieves Town. That's right, we had to find that too.
Yeah, we gotta take care of this.
But Zelda knows he can do this in go mode. But yeah, this right now is shaping up to be Zelga's race to lose. Especially now that we have found the other piece to the puzzle of Thieves Town. And you can't blame Iceman for making these choices. He's going for the dense plays. Just, it's unfortunate that the play he needed to make was the least dense. And he would only have had to make a power play, thinking he was behind against Zelda to make that choice. As Iceman picking up that bottle and Zelda getting ready to head to final, or to head to blind to get crystal number 6. Give these runners a foul. This is only week 1 of the 8-week Swiss portion of this tournament. And I know I had to talk with both of these runners. Zelda knew that this was not going to be an easy match. He knew that he couldn't take Iceman lightly. Because he knows Iceman has done some Crosskeys stuff in the past, and therefore is an opponent that he respects. Iceman is somebody who is hoping to keep things close, and for the better part of this race, he has definitely been keeping things realistically close against Zelda. Like, it was just a choice of which directions do you go that's cut these two apart.
Nice job with the blind script.
Yes, as Zelda finishes off against blind, gets the 20 rupees. More importantly, crystal number 6. Now, interesting thing, by the way. There's something that we haven't even thought about. No, never mind. It can't be. It can't be. It can't be. I was trying to think Pyramid Fairy, but it can't be Pyramid Fairy. That's not the answer. Because the Fire Rod is required to get into Skull Woods to beat Skull Woods.
Okay, it's not the Bonk Rocks outside of Link's house.
So it is Bonk Rocks outside of Sanctuary. That's the answer.
That's where Zelda's going now.
So for those of you who are wondering about this Fire Rod, we know that Fire Rod is located at the outside of Bumper Cave. The question is how can we get to Bumper Cave? And here it is. Here's Spiral Cave. Doesn't even need to open up that chest. We know that it's not something that we need to beat this seed. And there it is. That's the fire rod for Zelda. And now we can go and finish Turtle Rock.
Yeah, I saw that fire rod almost 2 hours ago.
So Zelda now going to go ahead and flute to 1 and finish it off at the Turtle Rock bottom, or the lower Turtle Rock entrance. And then head on over to Ganon. I mean, we mentioned about how Zelda made the right decision in the end, but I think what really gave Zelda the advantage in this race was getting first to the Spectacle Rock drop down. But I do think that if you see Iceman showing up as your week 2 opponent, that you got to take him as a serious competitor here, especially considering the fact that he's been in this match for the longest time. Now, outside of the unfortunate happenings on that 6th floor of GT, he's been doing a pretty solid job. Boots were vanilla. That is what Iceman's going to get once he gets this green pendant. Crystal number 7 for Zelda. It's off to Ganon. So I urge you one final time before we go and fight the wizard to please follow both of these runners. zelgadissan, a fine member of the community, done a fantastic job helping others get into this game. And Iceman, a main tournament admin, and also another great person to know as well. VXR, this has been fun.
It has, yes.
I'm looking forward to seeing what these next 8 weeks bring.
Yeah, these races that have been restreamed so far, they've all had their own fun.
I like how you paused before you said the word fun.
Fun for chat.
Yeah, not fun for the runners. But nonetheless, a lot of great matches coming up here. Check out the schedule, see when the matches are going to be. Some of them will be out here on the Zelda Speedruns channels. Some of them will not. At this rate, with the given how some of these restream runs are going to be, I am hoping the Battle of the Bunnies tomorrow is not going to be restreamed. Iceman trying to remind himself, I think, where the Sahasrara is. Zelda getting into stage number 2 of this Ganon fight. Stage number 3, rather. One slash to Ganon. There we go. Lights the torch. This will be a double. And over to the bottom left for Zelda. And Zelda will defeat Iceman here in round number 1 of the Crosskeys tournament and improve to 1-0. How about a GG for ZelgaDissan?
I stand in first place with a racetime.gg time of 2 hours, 24 minutes, and 3 seconds.
And Iceman seeing the result. And has opted to toss in the towel, but a fantastic effort for Iceman. And I think we will get both of these in here to talk about things.
Zelda has confirmed. We haven't heard from Iceman yet. now joined by, it's currently muted, Iceman. GG.
Hello.
GG's there, Iceman. GG's also to zelgadissan. Congratulations on the win. And let's see here. How rude was that path to the fire rod?
It was pretty bad. First off, make the big GG's to Iceman. What a gross chain of events for all of these things. I did not have much left when I got to those boots, that's for sure.
Yeah, I figured it was boots or bombos locked, so that's why once I got bombos, I was checking first entrance was not it. So I'm like, okay, it's got to be boots, but oof.
Yeah, and the other possibility that it could have been was the skull big key, but nope. Here we are. What just an absolutely sick seed. Sahashala being vanilla with the boots. Just, I don't know what I can say about this seed outside of, ugh.
Yeah.
It was a mess.
I was not feeling good around 120-ish.
Well, little did you know at the hour 20 mark, both of you seemed to be pretty even. I think what started the advantage for Zelda was he was faster to think about that spectacle rock drop down that took you to the Turtle Rock Bridge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a big one. The hookshot being there, like that really screwed me over for a long time.
And that was the situation where I've been saying is that there are a lot of seeds where there's like that middle bottleneck that just blows the seed wide open. And in this case, it was just taking that transition to get to that hook shot, because that just blew everything open. All your options just lit up right after that.
Okay, so Bonk Rocks was the connector to the fire rod?
Yep, Bonk Rocks was the connector to the fire rod, and Link's Bonks were Thieves Town is. I'm sure you just found that.
Dark Link, yeah.
Yeah, Dark Link, that is.
Yeah, because as soon as I saw the fire rod there, I'm like, okay, I need connectors to get there to basically finish the seed. And as soon as I found the bombos and Meyer wasn't it, and I needed 2 entrances, I knew boots were needed. Oh.
I mean, all in all, you were probably about maybe 10 minutes tops behind.
Yeah, I
finished.
Like I said in the Discord, in the race time, I was about to get those boots because I was on the way to turn them in. So then it was check the 3 connectors. I would have had Fire Rod. Thieves Town was just a go mode. I already cleared the tower, so it's just literally Thieves Town, Turtle Rock, Ganon.
Now, I do want to turn over here to Zelda. You sequence broke that that Swamp Small. Did that play a role in the choices that you made in this seed?
Knowing that the hook shot hard blocked entry to Swamp, there was no way I was going back in until I found the hook shot. So in that aspect, it did a little bit. But, I mean, after I did that, and I was even debating, well, do I go into Swamp or not? I was getting down to just following a couple connectors, including that Spec Rock one. I think one or two of the desert entrances was the only other connectors I had left. So eventually I just kind of stumbled into the hook shot and then the 8 big keys or whatever it was that was in Swamp. I think it was only like 3, but it was all the important ones like GT, Desert, which blocked the boots, etc.
Such fun stuff this seed had. Now, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I wanted to point out, you had the whole world open at 15 minutes.
Yeah, that was one thing I actually felt really bad that I was so late to the hammer. I didn't feel bad about the mirror since it was mid locked, and even if you get the mids, you're probably not going to go up for that one entrance. But the hammer is something I could have had, and I probably would have had if I had done a Houlihan opening at 3 minutes. So when I got that at 40 or something, that felt really bad.
I was happy to have those early. My route takes me that direction normally, and I'm like, I'll just follow these connectors.
Yeah, you had that hammer extremely early. You had several pieces of the puzzle before Zelda did, including that moon pearl. Just absolutely phenomenal how that early seed opened up for you.
Yeah, that early game I felt really good, but like I said, around the 120, when everything basically dried up and I had like one pieces of thing here and there all scattered all over the place, I felt really bad. And like, okay, I need to cut corners now.
Yeah, and
sadly I couldn't because that hook shot was so far away.
Yeah, just a case where Crosskeys kind of just got to you a little bit down the road. Now, you both, when you found out that you both were up against each other in week 1, what were your thoughts? I'll start with Iceman.
I was scared because I know Zelda's a really good runner. I knew it was going to be tough. I'm happy I kept it as close as I did, where I was only about 10 minutes behind. It's the same as the one practice we ended up randomly doing, but I knew it was going to be a tough matchup.
Pretty much same. I knew that it was going to be one of those races where I just couldn't screw up, basically. Like, if I had any sort of lapse of anything, that it's easily within striking range, if not just flat out losing. So this was getting really stressful for a long time near the end. Got a lot of respect for Iceman and pretty much everybody that's doing this. So this was a stressful race, but I'm glad to have come out of it with the win.
Yeah, I will say this, that Iceman, if you wound up skipping out on the remaining items of the Palace of Darkness and Ice Palace and just going right straight for Desert Palace, this could have been a toss-up. That's how close this was.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just couldn't.
Density.
I couldn't pull the trigger on Ice Pen and Ice Palace, and how bad it was to get the pod. I figured if it was there, I need to go there sooner rather than later. Versus what would have been the 2 checks in Desert Palace, or all 3 with the big chest.
I do want to ask you this, Iceman. What was behind your decision to do Palace of Darkness with only one small key and the big key?
I think it was. I think at that point I knew it was a crystal. I think I'd only had Skullwoods completely out of logic at that point as my only crystal. So I'm like, I need to put crystals on the board so that if I don't have to come back here to beat the boss, I'd rather do it now. So head straight to the boss. But then I was thinking the reason I went back in is because the 2 chests were in logic. I didn't want to leave an item behind that was in logic in case something was there. So that was a quick double dip of that, and then go back when I had enough keys to clear the rest.
So at what point were both of you starting to worry that Tower of Hera big key was going to rear its ugly head?
Honestly, I wasn't worried about it ever, just because by the end, my options were getting so limited that if I found it, it was probably going to be the next thing I did. So it was just like, okay, I'll just do it when it shows up.
Yeah, about the same for me. It was a case of I'll get to it if it shows up. It's an easy enough dungeon to get to, easy enough chest to check compared to some of the others.
And I'll toss it over to VXR if you have anything else that you want to ask.
I noticed on the collection, on the final spin of the collection, okay, your name was Sahasrahla Hope.
So it's not actually Sahasrahla. With the Danganronpa MSU I'm using, it stands for the super high school level, which is basically just another way for the ultimate hope.
You know, I actually thought it was going to be having to do with Sahasrahla too, so funny that Sahasrahla became very important in the end. But yeah, good luck to both of you runners in week number 2. Zelda, you're going to be dangerous for any of the 1-0s to have to face. And Iceman, I would not want to be somebody with 0-1 record staring at you after the performance that you put up today against Zelda. So GG's to both of you.
Thank you.
Yep, big GG's again. And thank you guys, Rick, VXR. I'm sure someone was tracking that I don't know. Thank you guys so much. Scott and Royale. Okay, yeah. Scott and Royale, thank you guys so much for putting on the production. Really appreciate it. And looking forward to next week.
Yeah, thanks for all the crew and volunteers that put these on. It's really good of you guys.
Yeah, as you know from your main tournament admin experience, it's a lot of hard work getting these on the air.
Yep.
So we definitely do thank the crew here. Again, Scott G239 and also Royale Wit Cheese. Thank you very much for what you do to click the buttons. And VXR, I'm going to let you go ahead and say the outro here as I'm Adirondack Rick saying thank you, and be sure to check out for more great Crosskeys. Week 1 is just getting underway. More great matches between now and Wednesday.
Yeah, we've got F. Coffin versus Eris at 1 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. We've got Elzen versus Retronika at 10 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. We also have the ALttPR Freaky Friday race. I forgot what the settings were for that, but yeah. And this weekend we've got Rockets versus Kazan at 2 p.m. Eastern, and then we've got a bunch of tournament qualifiers. Window Randomizer Season 5 and Android Randomizer Season 3. So yeah, we got a pretty busy weekend here for us. What are the old Frostbite? Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.